Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have been watching a lot of videos like this lately, and I have to make one because every single time I watch one of these videos, I get this feeling in my body that just resonates with me so much. It's sort of a lifestyle mentality shift that feels right. It feels like who I am, and that made me really excited to sit down and have a conversation with you guys, since you guys are my friends now, and sort of put it into words, which I've never been able to do before. First, I'd like to start off with giving some background of me, my work ethic, and what that's looked like for literally all of my life. I started working at the age of, I was making music when I was like 11. It started to become a thing when I was like 13, and since then up until last year I would have considered myself a workaholic. Definitely. I mean, the way that I thought about my life and my career, I found my literal identity in my work. It felt like success, achieving these goals and devoting my life to a career felt like the only way to take full advantage of my life. I think why that just does not work for me, and we're all individuals, is because that's not really what I want out of life. Whenever I sit down and think what I want to do with life, what I feel I'm here to give and to experience, work isn't one of those things. Never actually has been. And that's very interesting because that's been my mindset for my entire life. Just always thinking about the next step with my career and the next goal, the yearly goal, the weekly goal, taking advantage of every single minute of the day, letting myself feel like a failure if I wasn't doing that. And the reason that that is just not okay is because my body, my soul started to feel so depleted from that. It led me to a place of burnout like you would not believe. And the kind of anxiety that I started to experience because of this mentality last year, it's dangerous. It's absolutely dangerous. I can make an entire video about my experience with anxiety. That's not why you guys clicked on this, and a lot of people would not want to hear me talk about this here because it can be triggering. So I will make a dedicated video about my experience with anxiety where you intend to hear about that. But I'll just say that, you can't function with that level of anxiety and mental health issues. As an individual, you need too much help. It's just not sustainable, and that I will attribute almost 100% of it to what I allowed myself to believe was okay when it comes to working and overworking and attaching my identity to in the form of a career. That is just enough evidence for me to know if I'm getting to that place with this mindset, this hustler mindset, then it never was who I am. That's literally my body rebelling, and I have to pay attention to that, and I have to start to look at what brings me fulfillment and peace and how I can operate within this system and outside of this system simultaneously. So we'll get into more of this. I want to start by giving you guys some context. Really, it started when I moved to America. I'm from the Bahamas. I was born and raised in Nassau, Bahamas. Obviously, growing up, nobody was giving me the financial talks about credit, having credit cards, building credit, debt, all of these things, because it was not a part of the culture that I was from. So I was illiterate when I moved to America in these ways. A lot of it I learned through failure, and my first lesson came when I moved to LA, started acting, had to get a credit card because you have to have credit in the States to literally have a place to live, and not knowing how to use that, not understanding interest, nothing. I got myself into probably around $20,000 of debt, which I got out of last year. But that was my wake-up call. That was the moment I was like, this is insane. The institution of it all, having to have credit to be able to live somewhere, having to have an income to pay off your debt, and having to have a career constantly to continue that cycle of operation. And when I felt what debt felt like, I realized I want absolutely no part of that, but how do I do things without being involved in this model? So I started to try to think outside of the box. What does life look like when you just save up money, pay for things in cash, don't carry a balance on your credit card month after month, and sort of do things untraditionally in that way? So this untraditional mindset, this alternative way of life, my mind started going down that path when I started to figure out how to get out of debt, how to save. I started becoming financially literate and realizing you don't have to do things the traditional way in life. That's really what it boils down to. Life is what you make it, and you have a choice, somewhat of a choice, of what your life looks like. And this is not to negate all of our individual cases, because generational wealth is real. Having a head start in life is real. Privilege is real, and some of us have more of that than others, and so that already changes what this journey looks like for different people. But it never is impossible. That's when I started to really, this year, come to terms with how much life is what you make it, and what does success look like for me. I personally realized that success is not having a six-figure job. Success is not buying $1 million house in California. Success is not being on the big screen, having a hit record, being famous. None of that will actually make me feel like I've lived a successful life, because it's just a rat race of goals that never ends. You reach one and you make another. It becomes an addiction. And I was starting down that path of addiction. I don't think people really talk about how much of an addiction workaholism is. What the answer really is being able to afford being present. That's successful to me. Being able to spend time with my family is success. Being able to explore the world is success to me. Having an emergency fund is success. Not working because I absolutely need to be working, but working because what I'm doing is fulfilling me is success. And so how do I get there? How do I forge a path that makes my life as close to that picture as possible? And does this mean I will never work? No, because in reality, to get there takes income. I need to have money to pay my bills if I want to have the time to be present. I need to have money to pay my bills if I want to have the time to explore and spend time with my family. So I do not dream of a career. Mind blown. I thought I did, but that led me to a dark place. I actually do not. But what work has become for me is a much more healthy thing. It's not who I am anymore. It's not success to me anymore. It's a means to an end. It is a way to make my life more of the picture in my head of what my soul needs during my one life. What success would feel like in retrospect. Work definitely is a part of that plan. It looks like me getting my sonography degree. It looks like me starting work in that field and continuing to cut my expenses as much as I can by living minimally, so that I can save as much as I can, so that I can afford to buy a property with as much cash as possible, so that I can pay it off as soon as possible, so that I can buy investment properties, so that I can double my income, so that I can work half as much, so that I can have double my time to do what I want to do. So it's not that I need to climb this ladder and I need to, you know, keep getting this promotion for my fulfillment, but I'm now carving my life to look like my actual dream and what success actually means to me, to my soul, because I have had a wake-up call. I had to stop and I had to listen to myself. Not my head, not external examples, not follow the path that's expected of me, but to create the path that feels right for me. That's kind of what I see my YouTube channel as. I see this as a way to document that journey and show you guys my mistakes along the way and what I've refined along the way and the tips that I have when I become qualified to share them. I'm still at the very beginning of this because I'm literally just realizing this year. And so the vision board that I've had for all of my life from ages 11 till last year looks so immensely different starting now. And that excites me so much because it feels more right. And I hope that this video helps you guys to think more in that way. And you know, this is not to say that what I'm talking about is just so easy to do, because there are very many realities in this world. We need health insurance, we need to pay our bills, we need food on the table. But in our one life, we have the right, we should not feel ashamed of really sitting down and saying, what does success mean for me? What is my dream? How can I create that life for myself, for my family? And that's what I've started to do, and I feel much more connected to who I actually am because of it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to come on this journey with me, please hit the subscribe button. And if you've had time to think about those questions, I would love for you to leave a comment and let me know what your dream life looks like. See you guys.